We are back with another episode of the GameTime Athletics Podcast. It's Brian, it's Jordan, it's Chris. As always, we are aiming to do three things: inform, entertain, inspire. And that last one, you're going to get an extra helping of tonight. One of the most inspirational people you could ever meet, Jaden Leiby, joining us today on the GameTime Athletics Podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate being here.
I went to see him speak the other night before my college basketball game. And shout out to Mill Wallace and Lisa. They started a great charity spearheaded by Jaden and David Akers, Philadelphia kicker. Both gave speeches that night. And they say when you're around a positive influencer and motivational speaker like Jaden, your performance will go up 15%. Now, mind you, I had a basketball game that night, and everybody's kind of wondering, where's your energy coming from? Wow. Like, you have no idea what kind of speech. And I heard from this young man in Jaden Leiby. He came back and crawled his way back to recovery. He's motivating people all over the world now at this point. When you're around a negative person now, right, it actually flip-flops, right? Your performance actually drops 30%. That's the power of positivity, and something that he's mastered in his long road to recovery, because there's no quit in that young man. I am so incredibly happy you took time out of your day. You touched so many lives already. You know, you're just getting started. Jaden, welcome to the Game Time Athletics Podcast, man. I'm so pumped you're on.
Thanks a lot, Jordan. Honestly, it's an honor to be on here, guys. I heard a lot of great things, and like I said, it's great to be here.
Just want to say this episode really is geared towards mental toughness, right? His road to recovery and to go from down in the dumps, he could have easily just rolled over and quit. I'm going to give Jaden the floor here. He's going to walk you through the night of that game and where he's at tonight.
Senior
Go ahead,
night.
Jaden.
Senior night.
Senior
Conference
night.
championship game.
Yep. So it was obviously senior year. It was the last game of the season, senior night, Schuylkill League championship game against Pottsville. I played quarterback and corner. We were playing some of the best football of our lives. We were up 2 scores against Pottsville. Great football team. Each team had 1 loss on the year. So there's a lot on the line, right? A lot of people there, a lot on the line. It was a big time game, you know, and went into halftime up 2 scores. And like I said, I played quarterback. So what we did, we ran a lot. We ran a read option. So I had like 150 on the ground, just in a half. And then we came in at halftime, and like the goal was obviously to keep the foot on the pedal, right? Well, every time I'd come out of halftime, I'd always look up at the lights, just kind of be grateful for where I was at. You know, a lot of people weren't doing what we were doing, you know, enjoying the sport. And then these lights looked a little more gloomy, like almost like they were out of like a movie or something. It was so weird. I asked some of my teammates, like, do you guys see these lights? And they're like, nah, man, you got to lock in. Like, we got to go beat these guys. This very well could have been my sign, because in 15 minutes, a huge play happened, and it was a dump-off pass to the running back. Probably a play I made 100 times in my career. I'm licking my chops. Like I said, it was a big-time game and a big-time situation. My name was written all over. I sprinted up to make the play, and it'd be the last play that I'd ever make. I ended up 1 second being invincible, the next laying on my back paralyzed, wondering, is my life over? And honestly, it was all the beginning. After that, it was that night, it was ambulance rides, it was life flights. Tons of different tests and machines. And finally, a doctor telling me you won't ever walk again. So like at 18 years old, I didn't know what to say. What do you say to that? You know what I mean? A doctor telling you at 18 years old, there's no hope, you're never going to walk again. My initial reaction was obviously like, that sucks. But it turned into like, I'm going to prove you wrong, no matter how long it takes me. And I went through 2 different surgeries, one being, so the type of injury that I sustained was a C6, C7 burst fracture, which is the lowest part of your neck before you start going into like thoracic and lumbar, stuff like that. So the higher you get up, the harder it is to breathe. Well, I shattered my C6, C7, so they had to go in twice, one in the front and one in the back. After the first time, the surgery went well, but they didn't get everything out that they needed to get out. So they went in from the backside, and they couldn't, they got the last couple pieces out, but the way that my arm was pinched up over my head for like a 5-6 hour surgery, I got nerve damage in my arm. So not only was I paralyzed, then I woke up and my right arm was gone too. And I also had trouble breathing, and I had to be intubated, which is where that tube goes down your throat and a machine's doing the breathing for you. So a week ago at this time, I'm practicing for the biggest game of my life. And then in the quick blink of an eye, I'm fighting for my life, you know, and we all take it for granted. I took it for granted. I still do sometimes, but it's just one of those things that we can't be taking this stuff for granted. Every single day, it's a blessing to be here. Well, fast forward, I ended up spending 17 days in the ICU before being transferred to an inpatient rehab facility in Philadelphia called McGee. And at McGee, I would undergo countless hours of physical and occupational therapy, which I met a lot of people along the way. And I met a lot of people that had this victimized why me mindset, and the problem is when you get hurt, when something tragic happens to us, it's like one of those things that it's like, yeah, of course you could say this, why me, but where's that getting you in the end? You're not getting anywhere, right? It's a news flash. Like, this happened, saying why me, crying about it. Like, you could be upset about it, but when you're putting all that on, you're the victim, you're never going to get out of that, right? We need to start having this try me mindset, like a bump in the road. Could be a damn crater, but like, I'm going to get out of it mindset. Like I said, I met a lot of people along the way, and a lot of things happened to me that, it's crazy because and in the beginning of all this, it was like damn, dude, I'm 18 years old. Like, I broke my neck playing football, something I loved my life. What about my life? What am I going to do? And like I said, recently I came to the realization that, like, no matter how nervous I get for these speeches that I do, or the podcast that we're on right now, like, that I'm going to mess up or I'm going to forget what I'm supposed to say. Like, I really believe that God, some higher power, wherever you believe in, I believe in God, of course, but like, he put this on for me to go and talk to people and hopefully inspire them to be a little bit better and meet new people and hopefully make great memories through this, no matter how hard it is. Just kind of enjoy it and do the best with it. So that's a lot of my story. I started as a you could say star quarterback in high school, and ended up as a quadriplegic from a sport that I love, and it hasn't changed my way of looking at the sport since. It's still a great sport. I still love to watch it. I love to be around it. Don't think that I would be where I am at today without high school football. Even though it put me in the situation I'm in the wheelchair, I don't think I'd be, as strong, as resilient as I am without the game and the sport and growing up with it.
Now, Jaden, I have to say this. There's different types of breeds of people, right, that you run into. You're a special breed because if I would hook you up to a lie detector test right now and strap whatever all the wires on to see if you're telling the truth, when you tell me that you're going to do something, you truly in your heart believe without a doubt that it's going to happen. It's the way you come across, your demeanor is so real. And I was trying to tell my basketball team that night what kind of impact I had just from being around your mind. Is just an amazing thing. Did you have a supporting cast? Obviously, your family. I met your mom and dad that were at the event. Great people, and I had the privilege of meeting your girlfriend. And you guys are getting married soon. Is that is that the word on the street?
Yep. Yeah, we're getting married next August.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
my man.
man.
There's nothing that he cannot do. His mind and his heart are so big and so strong. There's nothing that man cannot do, right? Discipline is choosing your long-term strength over your short-term comfort. Mental toughness is showing up on days motivation stays home. He could have quit, but he basically said, and there's no doubt with dudes running for 150 yards in the first half, that he had that mindset.
Never got 3 touchdowns either.
And 3 touchdowns. Your mind quits before your limits do. You train to stay in the fight. And that's what Jaden has done. And he says, watch me. Your story is just remarkable. So you spearheaded this new charity called Trials to Triumph. And Mill Wallace, great friend of ours, very generous. Him and Lisa had David Akers and Jaden at the local event, the ribbon cutting. Can you talk a little bit about Trials to Triumph? Because when he grabbed that mic and went up on the stage, he totally stole the show. He had everybody just dead focused, laser beamed at him. Talk a little bit about it, Jay.
Yeah, so I ended up hearing from Lisa, from a friend, and she asked me if I could come and speak at this event. And I didn't even know anything about, it's the ribbon cutting was the start of it all, but like, I didn't even know anything about this yet. So we talked on the phone for a little while, and she asked me to come speak and told me a little bit about them, and I got to reading, and it's some awesome stuff, man. It's some of the greatest. They're helping people who are struggling with medical issues and like just helping them financially, like get through that tough time. And regardless of if they need it or not, it's just being there for those people that need that extra support, that extra drive is what it's all about. And that's what the Trials of Triumph is. It's a charity that helps people get through these tough times. And they asked me to be the spokesperson there. And to talk for them. They don't really like to be up on the bright lights and stuff. They kind of like to do everything behind the stages, which is awesome because they don't want any credit. Like they're just helping people to help people. But it's pretty cool. It's like kind of full circle because they 1,000% would have helped me if they were launched 6 years ago. And that's no doubt in my mind, just the people they are, the families they've helped, regardless of how they would have helped me. I'm not sure, but they would have found a way. So yeah, we had that event in Orgsburg, and it was great. Like I said, they asked me to come up and speak a little bit about myself, and then a little bit about the charity itself, and just who they helped so far, and multiple families. I'll give you guys like 2 examples here. One of them was a church congregant where his son had a brain tumor and had to kind of go back and forth to different medical appointments, right? You know, when these medical tragedies strike, you're at a lot of different appointments. You're at a lot of different, going through a lot of different cities, stuff like that. So they paid to fix his car for, his car was having some issues, paid to fix it. And it just makes his life a little bit easier. It doesn't change, like it doesn't completely put a huge Band-Aid over it, but just that little bit can help him go a little bit more, turn that trial into that triumph, right? And there was another one where they paid a family's month's rent. That was, the mom was sick and the dad got hurt at work. I think they had like 4 kids, paid a family's month's rent. So like just these small actions can help so many people. And I'm like very thankful to be a part of such a charity, great people, great, just great all around. It's a huge thing that they're trying to get people to go through churches now. A lot of church decline in attendance. So that's another big thing. We're big churchgoers, and I myself am going to start going to church a little more. I haven't been, and I'd like to get back in there. So
since 2011, Innovate Media has transformed everyday spaces into powerful engagement platforms. What started with commercial massage chairs has grown into a multi-concept, multinational network delivering over 2.5 million guest experiences every month. With more than 10,000 assets nationwide, our partners rely on us for industry-leading coverage, data-driven insights, and technology that creates real one-to-one consumer connections. At Innovate Media, quality isn't a tagline, it's the standard behind every experience we deliver. If you're ready to evaluate your property and unlock new revenue, visit Innovate Media and see what smarter engagement can do for you.
Great-grandfather Frank started it, a little store in downtown Pottsville. 4 generations and over 100 years later, Murphy's is still a neighborhood jeweler experience. Sure, with a few more brands, but still defined by a passion for fine jewelry and timepieces. A genuine enthusiasm for people and the patience to get it right. That's how we did it in 1913, and that's how we still do it today. The Murphy Experience.
First of all, great to meet you, and thank you for sharing your story with us. When Jordan told me about you and your story and being able to come on and talk to this, I was so looking forward to this episode more than a lot of other episodes we've done on here. And one thing I wanted to ask you is about your journey and your road to recovery. If you had to kind of describe that journey in just one word or like a phrase or sentence or whatever it might be, what would it be? And like,
it's more of like a phrase, and I'm sure you guys have heard it before, but a phrase that I've lived by since this happened was never out of the fight. So Marcus Luttrell, the Navy SEAL, said about never being out of the fight, and it was just one of those things that stuck with me because there was times where I didn't, like when I was in the hospital getting all these surgeries and that 17 days in the ICU, I was like off and on, like awake, like not even knowing what was going on. But when I would know, I would just kind of continuously tell myself, like, I'm not out of this yet. I'm still in. I'm still going. And then I got to the point where I was in rehab and like able to do some things for myself. Like when I was in the ICU, it was just kind of darkness for that 17 days. I was down to like 120 20 pounds. It was crazy. But like when I started to become able to kind of maneuver myself a little bit, even though my right arm wasn't there, it was just like just a little bit more every single day, that 1% that I was never out of the fight. So that was one of those things that I think a lot of people can kind of backpack on, because you're really never out of the fight. No matter how, we all have the mountains, we all have problems and tragedies, but like we're never out of the fight when you look at it that way.
And talking about your charity work, talking about your whole story, something that there are listeners that are a little more national, even international, might not understand, but Jordan knows, I know, just from being local, is the community really coalescing around you. Like, it's been 6 years, and I'll still be at the store, I'll still be somewhere and see a Prayers for Six shirt. They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Two questions. When did you first become aware of the level of support you had in the community, and how did that help you forward in your recovery?
Yeah. So, I mean, the first answering on that first question, it was pretty early on. I mean, it was right after, a week after I got hurt, or 2 weeks after, I should say. It was like when we played Tamaqua in the district championship. So we played Pine Grove and then we played Tamaqua, and I got hurt 2 weeks before that. So, like I said, I was kind of off and on, but I could just tell, like, just by them holding my jersey out, and then like all the people in the stands wearing my shirt, and just the outpouring of people coming in to see me and just kind of giving me love, giving me, shirts, or even if it was food that I couldn't eat at the time, just like spending their time to come in and see me, it was so huge, because like my family, they didn't really have a choice. You know what I mean? They've been great. Love them so much. They've helped me so much. But like a lot of these people had a choice whether or not they wanted to kind of give me support and be in my life. And just that, like, even if you're that one person that it's like, like, I don't know if I should, like, do it, man, because these piles and piles and piles of people made me want to be better, made me want to kind of get out and be the best person I could be, regardless of the outcome. You know what I mean? Regardless of anything, just seeing all these people praying for me and hoping for the best for me gave me the hope, then gave me the reason to push forward.
The moment that got me, and I don't care who you are, how tough and big bad you are, is when I saw him go back to the initial spot where he was hurt and he stood up. What was that feeling? Take a little bit about that. Did you have that in your head throughout the recovery process? That was inspiring.
So like my main goal, I want to walk on that spot again without any kind of help, any kind of walker or assistance. But yeah, that was one of those things that it was that 5-year mark, and I was like, I could stand in a walker. I'm going to go stand where I lost my ability to walk and stand. And it's just a powerful thing. It felt very powerful. It's very weird, like wheeling out on that field, and compared to what it was, obviously, but my main goal at the end of the day is to walk on that.
And you will, right? It's a done deal. Like with him, he will.
Regardless.
We talk a little bit about the significance of just being here for a visit, right? I don't care what religious beliefs you guys have out there. As far as our listeners, they're all different religious beliefs and whatnot. But this world, and we talked a little bit after he gave down his speech. I beelined. I was the first dude to get to him. And we talked a little bit about just being here for a visit, right? A blink of an eye. How can we spend and utilize our day and maximize the happiness in the world, right? I live by the 3 compliments a day rule, right? You can go give 3 compliments to 3 random strangers, right? It could be at Dunkin' Donuts. It could be at McDonald's. It could be at a grocery store. Hey, I like your shirt. Where did you get that necklace? That's a beautiful necklace, and stuff like that. That little bit of energy that it took for me to say, hey, I compliment you on that, will echo positivity. And we talked about positivity earlier when I walked over to the basketball game, and he boosted my performance 15% just being in the room with him, just like if I was around Kobe. And that's really what it was. When he was speaking, he had this aura around him, meaning I'm here for a visit. I'm destined to do something very special. You try to take this from me, I will show you I will get it back. No one will stop me. I already proved you that I was going to come back, and I stood in that spot. Watch what I do next. Talked about angel numbers, right, Jade?
Oh yeah.
We talked about, we see him a lot. Like I see him all the time. 1111 is my go-to. I see 1111 all the time. And God rest her soul, my mom passed away, and that was me and her thing. We talk about 222, 111, 333, 444, 555. They all mean something. It means your angels are guarding you, protecting you. Even when the road seems dark and things don't really line up, or they look like you're dealing with so much adversity, it lets you know Your guardian angels are with you. You're only here for a visit. Can you talk a little bit about, I don't know, we talk about act of God, Jade, right?
I truly believe that he had a plan for me to kind of do all the things I've been doing, like speaking and just meeting new people and enjoying this process, regardless of the difficulties it comes with. I think that that night that everything happened, I think that was more of like could have been like a sign, seeing those lights and just everything being brighter and kind of like time slowed down for a couple seconds before I went out and ended up losing the ability to play the sport that I was playing my whole life. So, but like I don't think that was a God like punishing me. I think that was God being like, "Hey, listen, I got something else in store for you here. Like you don't need to worry about this football thing anymore. Let's go inspire some people."
Tell you what, we talked about that Japanese proverb, Bri. Fall 6, get up 7. I know
Yeah.
you said that a couple of times out down there.
Yeah, that's what I felt like I've like read and seen a lot of things on that, and it's just like it's so true because if you're gonna fall, you're not gonna stay down. So you know what I mean? Just keep getting up, and no matter again like how hard the road may be, just when you get up and continue to get up, good things are gonna happen.
Did you ever think of dabbling into coaching? Your brain and your motivational ability will take you forever. We'll never see him again. If he takes we'll never see him again.
You know, I have thought about it. I helped the baseball team out a little bit, but football wise, I don't know about maybe in the future. I would definitely think about it. Like I love the sport and stuff. It's just I'm a pretty big avid hunter now, so I spend a lot of my time in the woods and again like with God, you know. And I just think that's like I don't attend church as much, but I truly think that like being in the woods is like another level of kind of following your faith and stuff like that because it's everything that he made. You know what I mean? And all the animals and all the sounds and it's awesome. And it was something that I thought I was never going to do again. And I mean, love my dad to death. He's been a huge part of this process of helping me get back into the woods. If it wasn't for him, I don't know where I'd be at, you know? But yeah, I've thought about coaching. It's just, like I said, hunting right now is, I don't want to say a bigger priority, but I just really enjoy hunting and just being with my dad.
Chris, Brian, did you ever see his tank? He's got a
I've not-
tank.
I have not, no.
Can you talk a little bit about it, Jade?
Yeah, dude, it's sick. Like I said, when I wanted to get back out into the woods, it was one of those things that like being in a wheelchair, especially like I'm in a manual wheelchair, but like they make those power wheelchairs too, and they're just not good in the woods. They're not good to go on grass and stuff like that. So I was online looking for these things it's called an action track chair, and it has like actual Jordan's like, he's not lying. It has actual tank tracks on it that just goes wherever it needs to go.
And it's hilly
It's-
around here. You need that regardless.
Where
What's
do you
that?
see it, Brian?
It's hilly around here. You need that regardless.
Oh, dude,
Whether
yeah,
you- or not.
hilly and trees down. Like it could go over anything.
You can even go through Cressona with all those potholes, Brian.
Oh, dude. I mean,
I don't know about Paso, but Persona, yeah.
yeah.
Chris, go ahead. You had something else for him?
I want to ask you. So we talk a lot about resilience and perseverance on this podcast, and your story alone is. I mean, you've told us a lot about how resilience has been a big part of your journey. But what's something that has motivated you? You talked a lot about how you have your family, God. Who specifically do you have anyone to thank for motivating you on this journey? It's been a long journey for you. So who or what has motivated you and kept you going through this experience?
I would say that now I do have a who and a what. And there's many people that have motivated me through this, but I would say the main three people in my life are my fiance and my mom and my dad. And my mom and my dad, just for the sake that they have been there from the start, from sleeping in Philadelphia for 3 months to just helping me do what I need to do, all the in-betweens. Like, obviously they may have not had a choice, but their choice was to, you know, help me become the best version I'm going to be in this situation. And then my fiance, and that's who, you know, I can't even express how I feel about her. We've been together since freshman year of high school and just being by my side through it all. And I can probably name a lot of people that would have left and she didn't, not even once, never even thought about it or mentioned it. So just her being around made me a stronger person, you know. And then you get into like my brother, who has been awesome to me. Like, again, so many people in my life that I'm super thankful for and literally helped me become where I am now. I could continue to grow. Obviously, we all can in here. So it's just having these people around is what's going to help me grow. So, and the thing is that something that always helped me, regardless of where I was at, in the early stages where I didn't think anything was possible then, to now, it was always looking around and it was seeing that someone or something had it worse. It could always be a little bit worse, which is why I always kind of just thank my lucky stars, thankful for my blessings that I didn't have it as bad as some people. I had it bad, but it wasn't as bad. So it was able to kind of catapult me to the next day if I was dealing with it that day.
Being at your lowest moment and his girlfriend sticking by him is a testament to everything you need in this world of life, right? That is true character. We talked about it if it's raining out, and we talked about this at the event. If I'm completely dry and I have no reason to go outside because it's raining, but I do it anyway to help him, that's the true definition of character, right? In your sense with your girlfriend, that's love. That's pure love. You cannot put that on anybody's heart. And what's her name? You want to shout her out?
Yeah, her name's Haley Deisel.
Shout out to Haley. We need more women like you out there, Haley.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to fresh quality turkey, Cuck's Turkey Farm has been a family tradition for over 85 years. From whole turkeys and turkey products to deli meats and specialty items, you can trust Cuck's for delicious farm-raised turkey that's always fresh. Whether it's for your holiday feast or everyday meals, Cuck's has you covered. Cuck's Turkey Farm, where quality and tradition meet.
Looking for insurance that fits your life and budget? Jeremy Baczynski with State Farm is here to help. From auto and home to life and business insurance, Jeremy creates a personalized coverage plan designed around your needs. Get a quote today at ilovethefarm.com or call us at 570-622-5684.
So now you're in the situation where we're getting into the motivational speaking. I know you just did some stuff at your alma mater there, North Schuylkill, went into the Hall of Fame, one of the newest North Schuylkill Athletics Hall of Famers now. And was that something you kind of sought out where you're like, this is something I would like to try out? Or did people come to you at first and you just started easing your way into it?
Yeah, so it was actually my first one ever. It was Southern Lehigh, and they reached out to me. And it was a Southern Lehigh football banquet. And I think it was around 2 or 3 years ago now. I was like, yeah, sure. And I was nervous for it and stuff, and went there and I did okay. And they actually recorded it. So, and then they sent me the recording, and just watching film on my old, I used to watch film on myself all the time, but it was I went through it and I just kind of looked at how I was speaking and what I was speaking about. And I was like, if I wanted to do this, I got to do it at a better level. I gotta be more prepared. I got to write things down. I ended up doing that. And the next one came, and then it got a little better and a little better. And like I said, I got real nervous before them, but as soon as I start speaking, man, it's game over. And again, at the end of the day, it's the whole thing I'm there to do is to inspire one person, whether if that's in front of 1,000 people and I inspire one person and the other 9,999 don't like it, at least that one person did. Someone actually reached out to me about it, and it's kind of just jumped through there. So
it's incredible. I'm going to put my man Jaden Leiby on the GameTime Athletics Fastest Question, sponsored by yours truly, Utz Potato Chips. I wish I had a bag right now. I could go for some salt and vinegar. Are you ready, Jade?
Ready.
If you can go back and relive one moment from your football career, what would it be?
Junior year, quarter semifinal going into the district.
Oh.
We're playing Jim Thorpe at home, and at the time we still had grass. So my senior year we got turf, but we still had grass my junior year. And it's monsooning. I'm telling you, it is pouring rain. And I was quarterback and we ran the option, but we still had grass. So from running on it and doing all the things, it was mud then. Mud, crazy rain. We're under center the whole game. I had 10 fumbles in this game. It was just the ball was just rolling up my arm. I couldn't even couldn't catch it, nothing. So we ended up going down 6-0. And like I said, we couldn't move the ball at all. Fourth quarter, there's 7 minutes left. And it's called Bronco Flip Special, it was called, where I fake the ball to the running back and he runs a wheel down the sideline. So we're going to fake it, and then I just drop back and throw it. Well, somehow I got the snap, literally caught it with my chest, faked it to him. He did a great fake. We're on our 10, by the way, our 10. I threw it. I had a kid jumping in my face. I actually have a picture of it. He was jumping in my face. I could barely see anything, so I was just kind of hoping. Threw this ball, running back caught it like 30 yards downfield and ran for a 90-yard touchdown. So at the time, it's 6'6". It gets even better. And kicking was like impossible, so we went for 2. Ran an option play, like a speed option to my right. Like we're at the 2-yard line, so I'm like, screw it, I'm going to take it in. Well, I went to kind of fall. Someone was tackling me. I went to kind of fall in. Like I said, I had 10 fumbles. Yeah. This made it 11. I fumbled again, and my buddy picked it up. Tyler Elston picked it up and dove in for 2. And we ended up winning. Yeah.
There's no offense at that point.
No, it was terrible.
Yeah. Like defensive battle.
Absolutely. And that's what wins championships. So that's what they say.
Hey, defense wins championships for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I've been preaching that for years. What's one piece of advice you can give someone going through a tough time right now?
It could always be a little worse, but you're not alone.
Love that. What keeps you motivated to continue speaking and inspiring?
What keeps me motivated is honestly times like this. Like I met you at this Trials of Triumph, and you were inspired by what I had to say, and I'm inspired by you and what you guys do. So kind of just meeting these new people and then hearing from kids, and like when I do a high school or a business, just hearing from them after, and then like just hearing that I did help them. Because at the end of the day, like it is all about just helping them.
So looking ahead, what's the next big goal you have for life and career? I know you talked a little bit about it, but if you just reassure yourself, talk it into existence, what's next for Jaden Leiby?
Yeah, so I just ended up just graduating to be an elementary school teacher. I want to pursue that a little bit and continue to speak. I want to be able to travel and speak and kind of tell my story and hopefully help people around the world, around the country, around the world, wherever you name it. And just kind of, because like I get a lot of people get paralyzed, but a lot of people that get paralyzed maybe don't talk about it. So like I know how common this is, but I'm not telling people my story because they have a chance of getting paralyzed. I'm telling my story to people because their life's going to be hard at some point. If it's not, I would love to know who they are or what they're doing because they got it right. You know what I mean? But their life's going to be hard at some point. And I like to tell my story because my life was hard and kind of is hard every single day. It's just about how you go about the hard days and the hard times.
Jaden, one more question I want to ask to close out this episode. If you could go back to that day when all this started, knowing what you've accomplished now and maybe change what happened, what would you do in that scenario if you were able to do that?
No, I think I'd ride it out like I've been. I think that that's a very good question that I think about a lot. And life wouldn't be the same if this didn't happen. A lot of people's lives in my life wouldn't be the same. It was a very scary time for us, but it showed us so much strength and so much resilience within us all. So it's one of those things that I don't think I would change it. I don't know why, because like, it's like, oh, dude, you got paralyzed. Like, why wouldn't you go back? And it's just like, I don't know. I just think that a lot of this life is about, enjoying parts of it, and not that I wouldn't have enjoyed it, but I don't know if I would have had the strength I do now.
God set you on this mission, and that's what you're just carrying out.
Yep.
I love that.
Inspirational, really, Jaden. Like, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And it is so amazing to hear Jaden's story and to hear everything he's been through and how he's been able to bounce back from that. The great thing about this one is the real story is yet to be written. Jaden's still a young man. What are you, 24, 25?
Yeah, 24, yeah.
24. So the Jaden Leiby story is just getting started. So the lives he is going to change, the path he is on, just being a teacher. The world needs more teachers. Just that in and of itself, independent of the story, independent of what you've gone through, has motivated so many people. The story is yet to be written. Can't wait to see what you have in store for the future. But we do finish up with one final question. Jaden Leiby, what time is it?
What time is it? It's game time, baby.
I got you your sweatshirt, Jade. I'm going to run it out to you. Oh, man.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Thanks for coming on.
Guys, thanks for having me.